Good morning, everyone. And and I've been a long time Godzilla fan since I was a little kid here. Here, probably like 5 years old, roughly around that age. And I've long since enjoyed the movies. And ever since the third Godzilla movie, I believe the first one in color at least, where Godzilla fought King Kong, and how that movie basically he said it pretty much established that Kong kind of won that fight. I always wanted a rematch for Godzilla versus King Kong, with Godzilla coming on top. Granted, I have heard the rumors. There's supposed to be an alternate footage ending for that, where Godzilla came out on top of that movie. Yeah, but well, nothing has came up on that front. Well, anyway, fast forward there a few decades. And here we are now when they announced Godzilla vs. Kong here. And in my opinion, and I believe Godzilla is actually the hero monster here, despite the fact of the TV spots that came out here just the other day, saying that and how Godzilla is going to come for Kong and that, though I think that comes after. They captured Kong and their government's being stupid again. But I'll get into that a little later here. In my opinion, going back to original start, there I saw Kong Skull Island, and in my personal opinion, I find it to be the worst of the whole MonsterVerse movies, mainly because it did a serious disservice towards the military and very disrespectful towards it, which was a big turnoff for me. Plus all the main characters are very forgettable. In fact, I don't think anyone really remembers who any of those characters even are. And this particular version of Kong, in my opinion, is actually the worst version of the character King Kong. Mainly because he seems to come around with a bit of a stick up his ass the whole bloody time. And plus the scenes where they try to make you feel sympathetic for him just comes off as rather forced. Anyway, and now we're at this point here where they're going to have Godzilla fight Kong. In my opinion, King Kong is going to be the villain in Monster, the movie. Well, the first villain. And yeah, I know they announced that MechaGodzilla is going to be the real villain of it, which in my opinion was a bad idea and just a stupid one in general, because it defeats the whole purpose of a villain, the whole purpose of a versus movie, where you have two characters go at each other and then all say they're supposed to team up and fight this actual villain guy. In my opinion, that just defeats the whole purpose of a versus movie. In fact, the only way how they could really make that work is do something like what they did to the sequel of when Godzilla first fought MechaGodzilla, known as Terror of MechaGodzilla. This is the movie that came after Godzilla vs. MechaGodzilla. For those of you who may have got confused, is where it was like the last of the Heisei series. No, it was the last of the original series of Godzilla movies. Is known as Terror MechaGodzilla, where Godzilla was fighting alone against both MechaGodzilla, fighting against both MechaGodzilla and a new monster called Titanosaur, which I believe that's how you pronounce the name correctly. And it was a 2-on-1 battle against Godzilla. And I believe that's what's going to happen in this movie. Well, that's what I think they should do in this movie. Be more accurate to say, because the whole team up in a villain in a versus movie in my opinion, is just a bad idea. Just look at Superman v Batman, and then ask the people about that movie, and you got a general good idea. It always did kind of annoy me when every time I look up at who would be the hero and who would be the villain, everyone's universally saying, "Oh, King Kong will be the hero and Godzilla's the villain," due to the last scene of the Godzilla King of the Monsters airs, where they say, "Oh, good thing Godzilla's on our side for now." In my opinion, I think people are mistranslating in that last line by thinking, "Oh, how Godzilla is going to turn on humanity." Where, in my opinion, what they're going to do in this movie is where it's not Godzilla who turns on humanity, but humanity turns on Godzilla in the form of the Godzilla, in the form of the governments wanting to control the Titans, and mainly because, well, government being government, they always want more control. And they originally start the plan off by creating MechaGodzilla. This is my idea how the plot should go. They start their plan off by creating MechaGodzilla to fight Godzilla, but Godzilla basically destroys it. So the governments get the idea of pitting King Kong against Godzilla, thinking and Kong has a pretty good chance of defeating Godzilla, plus they think they'll be able to control King Kong. And this will be going on as they're rebuilding in MechaGodzilla, and when they come onto the Skull Island to catch Kong, they basically launch their attack to attack King Kong, creating an image in King Kong's head there that humans are now evil now, which will serve later in the plot. And they'll be able to catch King Kong, and then later on, where they're transporting Kong to the mainland. And like a lot of ways, where you look at how the movie is going. Like Kong Skull Island is basically the first half of the Kong story, and this movie, in my opinion, is going to be like the second half. Like the Kong Skull Island one to be like the first half of the story, where Kong's basically running the show, doing the business in the first encounter him. And this one is going to be the second half, where he gets captured, brought to the mainland, and he gets out in chaos and gets killed. Well, it's basically going to be like that, and the TV spots kind of imply that quite heavily. And that whole TV spot thing where they're saying, "Oh, Godzilla will come for Kong," I think it's at that point where the heroes kind of realize what the government is doing and warning this is a bad idea. And of course, chaos ensues by the TV spot, mainly because Godzilla is acting to a challenger to a status, or an animal that's potentially challenging him for a status, or basically a territorial thing, and creating the hostile creating a hostile relationship in that regard. And eventually they get Kong back to the mainland there, and he escapes and starts just overtly attacking humanity. Because, well, they captured him, took him away from his home, and that kind of like how the original Kong story gone. And Godzilla, he's going to show up to try to stop Kong, or at least fight him into submission, and Godzilla will be kind of winning in this fight. And even though in a lot of spots where I think, and this is one of the main reasons why I think King Kong is going to be the antagonist, is Kong is actually slightly bigger than Godzilla by a lot of the pictures, and also he's been shown to be using a weapon in that, which is all these things to give King Kong a huge advantage over Godzilla, making Godzilla the underdog of this fight. Like, a lot of people keep on saying, "Oh, Kong's going to be the underdog in this battle and everything," though. Having Kong coming in with a weapon and a lot of images that we've been seeing, Kong is clearly bigger than Godzilla. I think King Kong would actually be stronger than Godzilla. And there's actually Godzilla who's the actual underdog. Hence why Kong is being more antagonist. As for Owen, Godzilla would be the actual true hero of the movie. Well, anyway, Godzilla is fighting Kong. The government sends a MechaGodzilla to team up with Kong to fight Godzilla to put him down. I guess at that point they think Kong is weak enough for MechaGodzilla to deal with Kong afterwards. And either Kong, and in my opinion, Kong will die in this movie, and he will either die fighting Godzilla, or die from his wounds, or he will die to MechaGodzilla, or just the military in general. But he will significantly weaken Godzilla to the point, but Godzilla will come on top as the victor, and then MechaGodzilla is going to show up, and with Godzilla being weakened, and Godzilla is fighting in an uphill battle again, but I think that Godzilla will pull it out in the end. Anyway, that's kind of how I believe that the movie should go. Not as Godzilla versus Godzilla and Kong team up against MechaGodzilla, more like MechaGodzilla shows up to help out Kong to defeat Godzilla for the nefarious purposes of the government. And it's in these movies, and the governments are actually using Kong to weaken Godzilla enough so they can actually kill Godzilla and take off a position, and then later turn around and kill Kong. Though I do strongly believe that Kong will die in this movie. Given how a lot of things coming out in this movie, certainly implies it's like the second half of the Kong story. Well, anyway, that's my opinions on the matter. And I hope you have a good day. Bye.